Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to have a look at the updated E-100. Yes, the E-100 got a slight armor buff, and to be honest, it was the armor buff that this tank needed. I've always known, or I've always talked about this tank as being a noob man's tank, because so many people play this tank that just don't know how to play. It's always been a noob man's tank, and what I mean by that is most people that drive the E-100 are not great players. It's all the time. The E-100 is one of the most popular tier 10 heavy tanks in the game, but just too many people do not know how to play this tank. Of course, it has a massive alpha gun, and the armor profile is quite good, but the cheeks, the turret cheeks and the lower plate have been always very weak. Now Wargaming have buffed the turret cheeks, and look how red that is. Of course, the lower plate is still very, well, I say still very weak. It's, you can still get it to 260 270 millimeters, but most tier 10s will be able to go through the lower plate. The upper plate has always been strong. You're never really going to get through the upper plate on the E-100. Now looking directly at the cheeks on the E-100, you're looking at 310 millimeters on one side and pretty much the same on the other side. So of course the E-100 has always had another weak point, and that is below the gun. You've got that little section, you can just see it. But that has been buffed as well, so that is still a weak point. But nowadays you do have to use Pramo to get through the E-100's cheeks, and that makes this tank extremely strong. If you are coming, and I always recommend playing the E-100 like kind of like that, or not even like that, kind of like, yeah, if you're driving or if you're looking, so say we are a tank, right? We're a tank and we're looking at the E-100 right now. If you look at it like that, if you're looking at an E-100 like that, you will still be able to penetrate it easy, either the lower plate or the turret cheeks, because even so the turret cheeks are still 300 millimeters. Using Pramo, you will still be able to get through that, and there are some weak points on the tank. Right at the top there is a weak point, but if you are looking at an E-100 like that, even like that, then it becomes very strong. So say the bottom plate is hidden, say it's behind a hill, it's behind a dune, and all you can see is, say you're looking at an E-100, right? So you can't see the bottom plate. You can't see the bottom plate. You need to angle your E-100 kind of like that. When you are reloading, always look like that. Don't look like that in front of an enemy. Always look around about like that, because you can see the turret cheeks become even stronger at 360, and the side even here, yes, it's yellow and it's only 150 millimeters but 384 millimeters effective. So you're not going to be able to pen that. You're not going to be able to penetrate that at all. Of course, you can still penetrate the turret. You got the turret ring at the bottom that you can still penetrate, but it's over 300 millimeters thick, and you could just see, like, the more you angle, the more that becomes even thicker. But then you have the chance of over angling, and the side here will become even weaker. So yeah, I mean, look at that. So you don't want to angle too much. I would say around about there is just about right. As you can see, it is very strong. So we're going to have a look at some battles and hopefully show you how to play the E-100. Got two battles for you from the E-100, one from myself and one from a game that I found, which just showcases this tank, that how well this tank can perform in the right situation. Now both battles are on the same map, so yeah, I mean, I've always loved the E-100. The E-100 is always one of those absolute beasts if you're driving it and if you know how to drive it, but there's just there's so many people that don't know how to drive it, and that's the problem. And when you don't know how to drive it, this is just too easy to deal with, because it's only got 2,500 DPM, obviously a 15-second reload, and it is a very, very slow tank. And of course, if you can get to the side of it, you're going to penetrate it. If you can shoot the side of the turret, very, very easy. The tracks are, the side is pretty much spaced armor, so that could be very troll, and especially when people start shooting heat at the side of your tracks. But yeah, you need to angle it right, and again, if you don't know how to play it, and you got some noobs playing it, it's pretty much 2,700 2,800 free hit points there. So yeah, you need to angle it perfect. Now, I used to run this tank with the extra hit points, because obviously it does have a lot of hit points. It's a super heavy, it does have a lot of hit points, but now that they have buffed the turret, I do actually run the improved armor, the added armor, because it gives it a little extra. It does give it a little extra. And again, you play this tank and put it in a right situation, in the right position, you will bounce almost anything. Of course, your lower plate is still going to be weak. It's always going to be weak. Now, you do have a nice HE as well, so try to use that HE as much as you can. I didn't want to go for the HE there. Now, we've got an AMX 50B coming to the side of us, and you can see yes, he's penetrating us, but we are trying to angle, but he is just getting, he's just penning us nice and easy, to be honest. So now he is on a reload. We've got 1,200 hit points. If we don't kill this guy, we're going to be dead the next time he reloads. There's only one thing I can try to do, and that is to try to aim at a weak point with HE, which is exactly what we're going to do there. And we do get a beautiful high roll, 1,150 high roll. Absolutely perfect timing for that high roll. So that was a deal breaker. That high roll there was an absolute deal breaker. It's a 4 versus 4. The TVP is now gone, and this E50 can easily deal with me. But yeah, you come in at an angle, then mediums, a lot of mediums, most mediums will not be able to deal with you. You've got to try to hide that lower plate, because now the lower plate is the weakest point. And if you're facing directly at the enemy, even in a medium, all they've got to do is switch to Pramo, and they will still be able to penetrate your cheeks. So it's not a massive buff on the cheeks, but it's enough for it to be red, and it's enough for people to have to use the premium rounds to get through the cheeks. Now, even in an E-100, I come up against an E-100 the other day, yesterday, or by the time this is released, a few days ago, and I still can't penetrate an E-100 in an E-100 on the cheeks with normal rounds. You still have to switch to the premium rounds, so that is pretty good. And that has made this tank super strong. But again, it is still a noob man's tank, and people are still going to perform really bad in it. But there's also going to be people that perform really well. The people that know how to play the tank will perform well. And I just want to make people better in the E-100. And to be better in the E-100, all you have to do is angle correctly. And that is literally all you have to do. If you angle correctly instead of just facing directly at the enemy, then you're going to perform better. You're going to do more damage, you're going to stay alive longer, and hopefully you're going to get more wins. So all you've got to do in the E-100, if you are struggling in the E-100, is just turn your turret. Just angle your turret. That's all you have to do in this tank. As long as the lower plate is hidden, all you have to do is angle that turret. So we're going to watch a game now. This game is absolutely fantastic, from Sweat Blood. I'm not quite sure what the last bit is. So he is going to get everything. He's going to get damage, he's going to get block damage, he's going to get a few kills, and he's going to get very lucky as well. So always, again, because of the alpha on this tank, just like any tank with high alpha, always try to utilize the HE, because the HE can still do a lot of damage in this tank. So yeah, I mean, you can see he still gets penetrated. He still gets penetrated, and again, but it's the lower plate and the cheeks. You can see that's where people aim, and that's pretty much one of the only places to aim. Now, this Leopard 1 has, well, I thought he was going to get wrecked there, but no, I mean, if you're on a little hill, again, if you're on a little hill, hide in that lower plate, just like it is here, he is now to the M103. Just turn your turret. Look at it. This is the kind of angles that you want to be. Just turn your turret. And I can't stress that enough, because that is all you have to do in this tank, is turn your turret. So currently it is not looking good for the green team. There is 3 tanks down, and then only 1 tank down for the red team. And this IS-8 now, he's on his own against 2. Well, the Leopard is coming around. Is he going to risk it? Is he going to come back out sideways? Yes, he is. It might be worth reversing out. Yes, he's going to get shot, but he does clear the highest DPM medium in the game currently. So now the FV215B is coming around. The IS-8 is trying to get away, and again, if you're slow and you've got a tank like this coming behind, just angle. Again, just angle. As long as you don't show your rear, then you will get bounces, and you can see it here. He does get a bounce. He's only on 1400 damage at the minute, and there's only now 3 tanks alive against 5. But what is going in the favor of the green team here is they do have this cap. They have this cap, and they are winning on cap points, and now there is pretty much a 3 versus 1 here. So he's just going to keep this guy here, and he's going to get rid of him for his 2nd kill. So that is now 2.4k damage, and it's only now just a 2 versus 4. There's still a lot of hit points to get through, and that Death Star, if the Death Star comes out at the side of you, of course he is able to HE the side and the rear of your turret, so do bear that in mind. Now, there is the T-100. He needs to go. He needs to get gone, because he has fantastic DPM. Is he going to go for the HE? He's going to try to risk it, and it pays off. And this is what I mean. Try to risk that HE. And again, look at these angles. He's getting the bounces. Because he is angling correctly. But now it is a 1 versus 3. He's on 1600 block damage, and he's got all 3 tanks in front of him. This is not looking good. And again, he's got the Death Star. The Death Star should be able to penetrate you, to be honest. Now, it doesn't matter if it's using HE or AP. This should not be anything other than a loss right now. But again, look at the angles. He gets another bounce, and he's now on 2500 blocked damage. Of course, he's going to ignore 2 of these guys, because he has to clear this Death Star right now. He's got no choice. He's got to clear this guy, otherwise he's just going to lose right now. So he's doing that. He's got the Yo now in front, which is still bouncing, and he's got the M103 behind, and the Death Star wasn't happy with that, so he's now going to reverse. I mean, 3.4k block damage, 5.7k damage, and he's still got a lot of hit points to get through, but they are still winning on supremacy points. What are these 2 guys doing? One of them needs to get behind, but again, look at the angles. He's trying to angle from the M103. Now, this Yo should be able to penetrate the lower plate very, very easy, but he is still struggling. There's 1 bounce, there's 2 bounces, and again, that was the turret he's going for. He's got 1 shell left, and yeah, I mean, 4.3k block damage. So what he's going to do now is ignore the Yo, because we know he's on a reload. He was going to try to go for the HE there. That was an extremely low roll, not even 500 there on that roll. Very, very low indeed. Now, almost 900 supremacy points. If he gets a kill right now, then everything could change. So he does get penetrated. He's now only on 3 HP. Now he's going to get this shot. He has to high roll. He doesn't high roll. He's on 8.1k damage. Look at all these block damage coming in. How is this even possible? 600. The M103 is only on 73 hit points. He's going to clear him. And look at that. Absolutely amazing. 980, 990, and it is game over. I mean, 5.4k blocked damage. 5.4k, and that last shot in the end there brings him up to 8,700 damage. Very nice game. That should not have been a win. I think if that wasn't supremacy, he would have lost at the end there. He, with 3 HP, even if the Yo was shooting HE, he would have done enough with 3 shells, I think. So we did get lucky with the win, but he put up a very, very good fight, and the angles that he was putting himself at just managed to get so much blocked damage. So that is the E-100 for you. It is an extremely popular tank that has now just got better with that armor profile buff. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the new looked E-100. It is a fantastic tank. It's a fun tank. It's a fun tank to play, and you can cause a lot of damage when played correctly, because all you've got to do is angle that turret. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsyreplays, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye. With